This programme was made with support from the National Lottery Heritage Fund. On the Heritage Channel tonight, young filmmakers, our local beauty queen and a seaside festival. Welcome to the Heritage Channel, where we explore the fascinating history and heritage of North East Lincolnshire. As part of our popular Changemaker series, we caught up with local beauty queen Mary Jennings, who is using her celebrity platform to make a difference in her local community.
One of the roles that I do is an emergency responder for the British Red Cross, which could see us responding to anything from house fires to floods to building collapses. Anything you can think of, there's probably a need for us there. And throughout that, I then decided to dip my toe into pageantry, and that's when I first came across the title of Miss Lincolnshire and decided to enter that competition, and didn't ever expect to win it, but here I am today, and I've kept the title since 2023. So in February this year I also won my first national title, which is Miss Progress United Kingdom, so I get to go represent the whole country in Italy later this year. I've been in the Miss England competition for the past 2 years in a row. Really enjoyed myself, enjoyed my time there, and of course enjoyed representing the town of Grimsby and the county of Lincolnshire as well. What a beauty queen is has changed massively throughout the last few decades, and I think a lot of people are still stuck in that stereotypical thought pattern of it's where you wear a bikini on the stage and you get judged on your measurements, and that very much was what it used to be, but how it's transitioned to now has changed to what that person has been doing in their community, what sort of interests they have, what they do for work, and it's very much now person-centred, and it shows off the qualities that a woman has in other ways to what it was decades ago. I've used my platform as Miss Lincolnshire and Miss Progress United Kingdom for various different things, but the most important one to me is it's been a platform for my project called Swifts, which is supporting women into the fire service, and this is a project which surrounds incorporating equality, diversity and inclusion standards and showing a larger awareness, inspiration, education and advocacy throughout the emergency response sector, but it's also applicable to many different careers. And also another part of the platform that I've used is to do with environmental advocacy and environmental awareness. So that is going to actually be the project which I take with me to Italy later this year for Miss Progress International, and that will be my Threads of Hope campaign, which focuses on boycotting the fast fashion industry essentially and showing how we can move towards a more sustainable future. It is an honour to be part of the very first cohort of youth workers that Horizon Youth Zone have, and we're already seeing a huge impact that the Youth Zone is having on hundreds of young people's lives, and I think that's really an amazing pinnacle of what it brings to Grimsby as well. It's bringing hope, it's bringing determination, and it's inspiring futures.
Young people from another local community organisation, Target NEL, have also been busy making short films about our local heritage with the help of Gemma Lingard and Rise Film.
I bet when you think of a concert, you think of this. And not this. Well, if you were born in the Victorian times, then that might have been the best you got. Back in those days, the average person couldn't afford to go to fancy concert halls to watch the latest opera. But what they did have was the good old bandstand. Bandstands, like the one in Grimsby, became popular in the Victorian times because, well, nobody had TikTok. And in some cases, over 10,000 people would crowd around one bandstand to listen to live music playing. They became so popular that eventually pretty much every park in every town had one of their own. I bet you've all been to People's Park here in Grimsby, but did you know that the bandstand has been here for over 140 years? The original wooden bandstand was built back in 1883 when the park first opened, and in its day it would have brought thousands of people to the park to watch live music. But by the 1940s, bandstands across the country were being abandoned. But why was this? During World War II, metal was taken from many bandstands and melted down into weapons and bullets. But even then, going to the cinema and watching TV was getting more and more popular. So nobody wanted to visit them anymore. And by the 1970s, over half of the bandstands across the country were either knocked down or in a complete state. And it seemed like before long, we would lose them forever. But not all was lost. Back in the 90s, there was a huge effort to restore bandstands back to their original glory, including this one in People's Park that was rebuilt in 1990, and this one, which was brought here all the way from Gaul and rebuilt in 1991. After a bit of a rocky patch, it seems like the bandstands are making a Victorian comeback, with lots of events in Grimsby using them for live music performances. So, think about your nearest bandstand. Is it still in use? And if not, why not? Do you have any ideas how you could bring it back to life? Maybe you could put on your own performance, or even ask your favourite band to play. So there you have it, the history of bandstands.
A series of workshops in partnership with Hammond House and the Heritage Channel will give more young people a chance to become young filmmakers over the summer. Members of the local community have been supporting Grimsby bid to be Town of Culture in some creative ways, including this hilarious sketch from Lee Waddington and the team at Acting Links.
Therefore, it is my recommendation that we spend the funds to repave Riverhead Square again. Which brings us into the final point on tonight's agenda, Grimsby's bid to be the 2028 Town of Culture. Now, I think we can all agree that, seeing as Grimsby is absolutely devoid of any kind of culture, this is an utterly ludicrous proposal that we can nip in the bud without any further discussion. All in favour?
Come on, Reg, what about the Caxton Theatre, you fossil?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Caxton Theatre. Grimsby's one bit of culture. Hardly enough to make a bid, is it? Now, if you don't mind, Town are playing Manu, and I'd really like to get going.
Don't forget Unseen Arts.
And Acting Links.
Right, yes, the cabaret and acting schools. How could I forget? But other than Caxton Theatre, Unseen Arts and Acting Links, can we all agree that Grimsby has no culture?
It's Dr. Academy.
And our big picture.
Right, fine, yes. But besides Caxton Theatre, Unseen Arts, Acting Links, Docs Academy and Our Big Picture, are we in agreement that Grimsby has no culture?
Casbah Puppet Theatre. Creative Start.
Oh, and the Culture House. It's literally in the name.
John.
The other bird's called John.
Lee and Brendan are the latest additions to the Heritage Channel team. Their first assignment was at Festival of the Sea, the annual event on the riverside in Grimsby that celebrates the delicious seafood that still comes through the port of Grimsby, our maritime heritage and our future in renewable energy.
Welcome to the Festival of the Sea!
with the official highlights video and documentary coming soon. In other heritage news, Hammond House National Year of Reading champion Jessica Johnson will be running a free guided read aloud session for adults at Bid Local North Cleethorpes on Monday the 13th of July between 12 and 1. You can explore new realms of literature in a safe and welcoming space and enjoy the benefits of reading aloud brings to mindfulness, confidence and well-being. Supported by Louth Town Council and attended by the Lady Mayoress, children from Kidgate Academy brought their parents along to the Hammond House Gallery to see an exhibition of their art organised by teacher Amanda Hill. Currently in the gallery until the 25th of July, an exhibition of original watercolour paintings, a beautifully illustrated book and a documentary film that charts the 11-mile course of the historic Louth Navigation Canal to Tetney Lock. A new women's history group is exploring stories of the ordinary women from Grimsby who have done extraordinary things. The next group meeting is in the Carer Support Service in Town Hall Square on the 14th of July from 11 till 1. Everyone is welcome to come along and share their own stories or those of their ancestors. ITV are looking for people who used to work in Grimsby Port during its 1950s to 1970s heyday to tell their stories for a new documentary film. If you have a story to tell, contact Ryan Massey at itv.com. And finally, despite the soaring temperatures, crowds still turned out for Armed Forces Weekend in Cleethorpes to pay tribute to the serving men and women, veterans and cadets who represent our country around the globe. Well, that's all from the Heritage Channel team tonight. If you have a heritage story to tell, contact us in the link below. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next month for more heritage news, views and local stories. This programme was made with support from the National Lottery Heritage Fund.